going on? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another video. So for today's video, I'm going to do a no makeup tutorial. So the reason why I decided to hit it off with this makeup tutorial first instead of something really glitz and glam is only because this is kind of something that I wear on a normal basis when I do wear makeup, and I constantly get asked like, what do you have on? Your skin looks so natural, it looks so clean, you know, it just looks so nice. So I decided to do something like this, that way I can kind of answer the questions that I get asked all the time. Let me see what else. Yes, also, as you can see, my background is still the same, and the reason why is because I had filmed a video in my room that I did pre-record, which I will upload and you guys will see that background. I'm not 100% happy and satisfied with the way that lighting looks. So I decided to come back to my living room only because I have a way bigger window here, and the way the sunlight hits in my living room is 10 times better than in my room. So I said my next video I'm going to film in the living room, and hopefully when I get like how to achieve better lighting in my room, how like when I get that all adjusted, then maybe I can film back in there. But until then, we're kind of stuck with this, but it's all good, it's all good. So with that being said, let me make sure that I did not forget anything. I don't think I did. I just hope you guys enjoy this video and keep watching. Okay, so I was like debating on whether to do a voiceover or whether to just kind of talk through, but I guess I'll kind of just talk through and then kind of speed it up at some points, you know, things like that. So we're gonna get started. I already have my face primed and moisturized. I would have everything that I use that you guys are not seeing in this video, I will have it in the description box below. But just verbally now, I use the Smashbox primer, and I use the Glamglow MatteGlow moisturizer. So the foundation that I'm going to use is going to be my Make Up Forever Professional Ultra HD foundation. And I like this one because it gives you coverage. It's HD, but I also feel like it's really not a full coverage. Like, you can build it up to a full coverage if you want to, but yet to me still it won't look like super full coverage. It looks really nice and natural on the skin. And since we're doing the no makeup kind of going for more of a natural look, I like this. You can totally use a BB cream instead. You can totally use a tinted moisturizer instead. Some people prefer those. I really don't own any BB creams or tinted moisturizers. I used to wear those, but I don't know, sometimes I feel like some of them either dry out the skin, or to me a BB cream, it can really just be full coverage as well. It just has more like skincare aspects in it. But for all of that, I'm just going to use a nice natural foundation. I hope I'm zoomed in enough and you guys can see clear enough. So I just like to shake the bottle a little bit, and I'm just going to pump it about I'm gonna do 2 pumps on the back of my hand, so it should kind of be like so. It shouldn't be too much. And then what I'm gonna do is definitely use the beauty blender. The only reason why using a beauty blender, especially in your no makeup look, is good because a beauty blender kind of gives you a really nice natural look, as opposed to a brush. You may kind of get more of a full coverage look. If you do like a brush, that is totally fine. Honestly, it's whatever you prefer, but like I said, the brush is going to give you a little bit more of a full coverage look. But if you are trying to kind of cover certain spots a little bit more, then maybe you would want to use a full coverage brush. So I'm just looking it down in my mirror right now. I'm simply dabbing it in the areas that I kind of want to give a little bit more coverage to. So as I'm dabbing it, I'm kind of blending it in also with my finger, just so that because your fingers kind of warm up the product a little bit. So I'm doing the same thing to the other side. So this is not going to go literally like all over my skin as you would probably do on just like a regular day where you're wearing makeup. I'm just putting it in the areas that I kind of want to cover the most. So now that I have that done, so I kind of in my forehead and my cheeks, I'm just going to take my beauty blender and just now blend it out. And I take it out with the butt part. So just kind of blend it out. And then what I'm doing is just like taking that product and just kind of putting it all over, just like so. So that way you just kind of blend it out all over, but it's not like you have so much product in, you know, those one certain areas. So then this is just the finished look that you're gonna get. So as you can see, if you go closer to my skin, I still have areas where you can kind of see like any little mark or just, you know, any imperfections on the skin. So that's kind of what I want when it comes to a look like this. I don't want to look like completely photoshopped or anything. So I still have product on the back of my hand. So I'm actually going to leave that there. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to use the rest of it. But first, I want to go into my concealer. Now, I'm going to use more of a full coverage concealer. Only on days, let's say like today, where I feel like you can kind of see my dark circles a little bit more. I don't really struggle of dark circles. But honey, sometimes they just want to come out and play. And today is definitely a day where I feel like they're trying to come out and play. So what I like about the Tarte Shape Tape is that it is a full coverage. And it really pretty much is just a full coverage. And this one, like, it gives a highlight, but it's nothing too crazy. So since it's full coverage and we're not going for a full coverage look, what I like to do is just kind of dab it where I feel like I need it the most. So for example, when I feel like my eyes look dark, I need it the most on the outer corner. So what I'm going to do is just dab it right here, right there in that outer corner, just like so. And then I'm going to dab it in the inner corner right there. So you're going to kind of have that look. And then what I'm going to do is just really lightly right there. So you're just going to have something like that. So now you should just have something that looks like that. Now to some people it may look like a lot. Also I'm putting a little bit more, you know, for camera purposes. But it should look something just like that. Now you can take your finger once again and just kind of blend that. And that's actually what I'm going to do. Just because it is thick, I want to kind of warm it up a little bit. So I'm dabbing it and slightly rubbing it. You don't want to rub it too much, because then that's also going to take away the product. So I'm just dabbing it like so. Definitely in the inner corner and the outer, because that like just, you know, brightens it up. And you all look at that difference. Automatically it's like, girl, you look awake now, compared to this eye is like, honey. So now that I have that nice and blended with my finger, what I'm going to do is actually take, remember that foundation that I had left, and I'm going to take the skinny side here and I'm literally just going to dab it right in. And now what I'm going to do is take that, go on the edges really fast and just blend it in with that concealer. And now I'm going all over my lid, up to my brow bone. Now I'm just taking that and just blending it, blending it. Putting it over my lid to take off any darkness that I had on my lid. I'm going like in the creases up, I know. And what I also like to do is just kind of drag it down. So when I blend, I kind of like to pull it down just to really take off any marks from the concealer, so you don't see like where it starts and finishes and things like that. So now that that's done, since this once again is a no makeup look, I'm going to go in with my Cover FX translucent powder in Deep. So normally for my highlight I will use my Laura Mercier translucent powder, but since I'm going for that once again no makeup look, I want to use a color that's really more to my complexion. So I'm just going to take my beauty blender. And I'm just going to, just for, you know, creasing preventions, I'm going to just dab out a little bit more. Dab it out, dab it out. And now I'm going to take my beauty blender into that powder like so. I have some there. And I'm just going to set that. So I'm not baking it. I'm just setting it in. That way I know for sure that homegirl ain't gonna crease. So now that I have my under eye set, I'm also just gonna take some more powder and I'm just gonna dab it all over my face, really more so to where I put that foundation. So if I didn't really put any foundation in a certain area of my face, let's say kind of like sort of down here and stuff, I'm not gonna put any powder because I don't want it to look all powdery and things like that. So now that my skin is completely set, what I'm going to do next are my eyebrows. And of course, honey, you really can't go with eyebrows looking crazy. Now, one thing that I do appreciate about my eyebrows are naturally thick. So, you know, if I don't fill it in, I'm not going to look like a crazy person. But, you know, just for a little bit extra oomph to it, brows just make the face, and sometimes even though you don't technically need filling in for any coverage, sometimes just shaping it a little bit more, just, you know, just to be extra or whatever, it does the face good sometimes. So I'm just going, I'm not even starting in the front. What I'm doing is starting like right here in the middle, putting a little bit in the front, and then I'm just kind of naturally following the natural shape of my brows and naturally filling them in. So this brow is a little bit shorter than my other, so I just kind of, you know, wing it out a little bit more, like so, and just like that. So you see how I just kind of shaped it a little bit more, and then I like to brush it in, like so. I'm not putting any concealer under. I'm not trying to give it like that extra sharp. That's why I make sure to put, when I do the concealer and foundation, I make sure to put it all around. That way it kind of cleans up under as well. So that's just like so. I don't know if you can see the difference from now to before, but it's just a little bit more shaped, a little bit, you know, more clean without like doing all that extra stuff. So definitely I cannot go without my brow gel. Like, I need it just to set it a little bit, and I feel like it gives it back life. I don't know, sometimes I feel like when you do foundation and stuff and put powder, you know, it just kind of looks a little bit dull. And then I feel like once you put that brow gel, honey, like your brows are back to life. Like, look, to me, I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I definitely see the difference. They just make it pop a little bit more. It's not as dry, or not dry, it's not as like powdery, or sometimes I feel like it eventually kind of just blends in with my skin even though it is way darker. I don't know, but that's just me. So now what I'm gonna do is bronze the skin, and I'm going to take a stippling fiber brush because I feel like it gives you more of a natural kind of bronze skin. I don't know. So I'm going to take my Guerlain Terra-cotta bronzer. So this is just a nice warm bronzer. And I'm just dipping this in, and I'm not like really contouring. I'm just kind of, you know, just getting it all over like so. So now that I finished bronzing up my skin, as you guys can see, now it's a little bit warmer. It has a little bit of color back and dimension back. I'm going to take the same brush and that same bronzer, and I'm actually going to run it over my eyelids. So not in like any specific way. I'm just closing them and running it over, just because I want to give my eyes some color and a slight definition, but nothing crazy. So now as you can see the difference between this side and this one just looks and this one just, you know, has now, like I said, a little bit of color, a little bit of life back to it. So I'm just doing the same exact thing. For people who may not know how to do eyeshadow or just hate the, you know, process of applying, honey, this here is as easy as 1, 2, 3, literally. So now that I have that done, what I'm going to do is go in with blush, and I'm actually going to use my Clinique Pop blush, and this one is in color 10 Fig Pop. And what I love about this is that they are super natural on the skin, but they still give you a nice little flush. So I just kind of smize, you know, and just kind of put it on my cheeks, on the apples of my cheeks, just like so. Nothing heavy, nothing too crazy, just like so. So you see how it just gives a little bit of flush, and now this side looks a little bit, you know, more awake, because blush does, honestly, I was never a crazy blush person. Like, I used to hate it, and when I started working for Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, that's really where I started getting used to wearing it more, because it's like, honey, you gotta, you know, you gotta wear blush, girl. And I was like, ugh, I'm not a blush person, but you know, it really does make a difference. Like, it just gives back some nice color, and just, I don't know, to me it makes a difference. So now that that's happening, what I'm going to do now is go in with some highlighter, and I'm going to use this Wet n Wild highlight powder here. So I'm just going to dab in my fan brush, and I'm going to just, like so. Now this is actually the first time I'm wearing this highlighter. I do have a video that I had previously recorded, and you guys will see me talking about this highlighter, but you know, I actually like it now. It's really settled. I barely put any, so you guys can't really tell. But now what I'm gonna do is put on some false eyelash. Put on some false eyelash. Whoa, girl. Put on some false eyelashes, and I'll be right back. So guys, I have my lashes on, and if I would have did it on camera, unfortunately, I wouldn't have got them done. So I have to do it off camera. But to me, this is like the main star of the show. It's really natural. You could probably even barely tell that I have any on. But what I like about these is in person, you see it better, and it's more of a nice flirty, fluttery kind of lash. So it looks, you know, 10 times better in person, like I said. And it just kind of puts everything together of a natural look, but still something that is like, something there looks really, really cute on you. So the last thing that I'm going to do is put on my gloss, and this is a NARS gloss in, I'm just going to write it in the description box because, girl, I would definitely butcher this word. But it's a nice peachy kind of nudie gloss. And for a no makeup look, I don't want too much color on my lips. And to be honest, on an everyday basis, when do I ever want too much color on my lips? So there that goes, and that is the completed look. If you are more of a lipstick person, you can definitely do something like that. I don't know, on camera I feel like this is looking a little bit pale on my lips, but in person it actually looks really nice. Listen, sometimes on camera things look different, and in person they look different, so you know, just work on me, alright guys? So guys, that completes my no makeup look. No makeup look. I hope that you guys did enjoy this tutorial. It was very, very basic and simple. Something super easy to achieve on an everyday basis, on a not everyday basis, but on a basis where you want to do a no makeup look. Really, really easy. This is kind of my everyday makeup, besides just my like no makeup. This is something that if I were to wear makeup every day, this is something that I would totally definitely do. So with that being said, I hope that you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and comment on the video. And if you are a subscriber already, thank you so much. Don't forget to turn on your notifications to be notified whenever I do post a video. And I think that is all. Until next time, I love you guys, and thanks so much again for watching. Bye.